At this point, I should change this channel's name from Kaybee Talks to Kaybee Disagrees, because boy howdy, do I have a brave-ass take today! And that's on the topic of nostalgia, and how people often compare old things to new things. I'm pretty sure the SpongeBob community knows a thing or two about how many people hold Season 1 to 3 of SpongeBob over everybody's heads, and constantly look down upon any new SpongeBob episodes, constantly chastising them, and also acting like SpongeBob from those older seasons would not be friends with the current SpongeBob, just because they think modern SpongeBob is too annoying. Almost like these guys are like a weird AE version of Squidward, where they once liked SpongeBob, but now can't stand SpongeBob anymore. But I'm not talking about SpongeBob nostalgia, because frankly, the nostalgia there is warranted, because those older seasons are still a 10 in my books. But I'm here today to talk about nostalgia in general, and how it's become a cornerstone for hating on the new thing, and constantly comparing it to the old thing. I kind of brought this whole thing up in my video on beta Minecraft a while ago, and while I would word things differently in that video, and I still stand by the fact I do not like beta Minecraft at all, on the fact I just hate playing it because I believe Minecraft in the current day just plays better. And no, I will not back down on that statement. Attack me all you want, beta heads. I will not be joining your cult. Your version is not perfect, and you know this. But I really, really do not like it when people bring up nostalgia as a form of criticism. If there's one thing I really fucking hate, it's lazy criticism. I know that sounds rich coming from me because of how simple my critiques are on things, and while I was a very bad critic before, I've tried to educate myself further on what actual criticism looks like, and trust me, there are plenty of bad critics out there, way worse than I ever will be. And lo and behold, this whole nostalgia criticism comes from Gen Z, and all of them are on the spectrum. You know what that means? These are my people. And my people, I need to tell you this. Nostalgia isn't criticism. Relying on good memories of an old thing does not equate to something that is, actually good. Now, sometimes nostalgia can actually remind you of why you liked something in the first place, and I get that perspective. Sonic Unleashed was a game that was considered one of the worst Sonic games for a long time, but myself and many others have gone on to defend that game to show exactly why the people who were shitting on the game were purely suffering from a skill issue, and while it has its moments, it wasn't a terrible game. In fact, I'd argue it's a damn great game that did not deserve to be chastised just because that IGN reviewer was too shit at Sonic games to actually enjoy it and give it anything but a 4 out of 10. The pure audacity when Sonic Unleashed Recompiled came out, they called it a fan-favorite Sonic game despite what I just said. There are cases of people defending something just because they grew up with it being valid, like with Sonic Unleashed. But sometimes, I feel that the line just gets muddier with nostalgia goggles. Like, guys, it's okay to admit that the thing you grew up with playing wasn't that good. It's also okay to call out its shortcomings. But the worst case in my view is using it to criticize a newer game. Like, if you prefer Super Mario Sunshine over Super Mario Odyssey, is it really because you think Sunshine is a better playing game, or is it because you grew up with Sunshine? And don't take that as me being a Sunshine hater, by the way. I don't hate Sunshine. I actually like it, in fact. That's just an example I can think of off the top of my head. Or if you genuinely think Super Mario Bros. Wonder is worse than New Super Mario Bros. 2 just because you found it more fun and had more interesting levels, or is it because you grew up playing it on the 3DS? And back off, 3DS fans, I'm not saying the 3DS sucked, I'm just saying New Super Mario Bros. 2 is a more boring game than Super Mario Bros. Wonder. I know somebody is going to be upset at me for saying this. And look, I get it. As I said, nostalgia can help remind you of times in your life when you were younger and more pure. And I get it. You don't want that taken away just because some condescending video essayist is lambasting the thing you enjoy a lot. I get that. If you just want to enjoy your favorite thing for the rest of the time, I can't stop you. But if you're going to be criticizing something, criticize something on its own terms. You shouldn't criticize something based on nostalgia simply because you find more charm from it because you were a kid, or you find something from a certain era more charming because you were born in the 2000s or 2010s or whatever. And trust me, I like these things as well. I still have my DSi on me, and my original Wii. I can still go back to those consoles whenever I feel like it. There are plenty of games I love that I'm willing to admit have flaws. But that doesn't mean I won't still enjoy them. If you really think a game you like has no flaws, you aren't the right person to be critiquing something. Again, I don't think people are wrong for liking something just because they grew up with something, but I'm tired of people using that metric as a form of criticism. So, point of advice, if you want to critique a game or movie or book or whatever, only compare it with something if it's absolutely necessary, not based on nostalgia. There's nothing wrong with making videos showing your love about something you like a lot, but you want to look at something objectively, remember that nothing in life is perfect. Anyway, thanks for hearing my ramble, and yeah, see ya. Bye.